All right, what is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast weekly real estate tip. And today I'm here to talk to you about the number one most important secret when it comes to creating success with your real estate journey inside your real estate business. Now, we all know there are no secrets. The reason why I'm classifying and calling this a secret is this is just something I never see talked about in our industry. The 20 plus years I've been in the industry, it's like, look, we go to all these conferences, webinars, meetings, events, and we're talking about lead gen and systems and processes and AI and overall strategy. And look, all of those things are important. I'm not here to diminish the importance of those things, but if you don't dial in this thing that I'm here to talk to you about today, all of those things are irrelevant. Like, you've got to get this thing dialed in. That's why I'm classifying this as secret, because it's just something not talked about a whole lot in our industry, but it is the most important thing that you need to hone in and dial in. All right, so a few weeks ago, I created a podcast here on the GSD Mode podcast about the three things you must have in order to create success. Item number one was your burning desire to succeed. Item number two is a hard work ethic. Item number three is you must be coachable. And by be coachable, I mean that, look, you can't have a closed mind. You can't allow yourself to ever get to a place of arrogance where you're like, oh, I already know this. When you find yourself asking, or saying, I already know this, use that as a trigger to then follow up with these questions. Okay, if I already know this, am I doing it? Number one, am I doing it? Number two, have I mastered it? Number three, do my results prove that I've mastered it? So that's all I mean when I say coachable, is like you're a student of the game. You're always learning to grow. You're always looking to expand. You never allow yourself to get to a point of arrogance, because if you stop growing, you start dying, right? So of those, though, the top one, number one, is that burning desire to succeed. Now, all three of these are important, but man, if you don't nail number one, which is the secret I'm here to talk to you about today, is that burning desire to go out there and succeed. In life, until the pain of not accomplishing the thing that we want to accomplish, until the pain of not accomplishing that outweighs the pain of all of the hard work you're going to have to push through, all of the sacrifice you're going to have to push through, until you get yourself to that point, it is going to be very difficult, if not impossible, to succeed in the long run. Maybe get lucky for a year or so, right? Like, you just have, market conditions, whatever, you get lucky, but it's not going to be sustainable. You've got to have this burning desire, this passion, this burning desire to go out there and succeed. And people can call it different things, whether they want to call it your purpose, your why, that burning desire to succeed, as Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich, which is an amazing book. I highly encourage it. I highly recommend it. Okay, well, that makes sense. If I got that burning desire to succeed, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know what I want, why I want it, why it's important to me. I know why I'm pushing through all the bullshit that I have to go through. It's really essential to understand that God does not reserve problems for a select few. We're all going to experience problems. But then the question becomes, how do I tap into that? How do I get that burning desire to succeed? Some people might have an innate, like it's already like that's just how they're wired. It's within them. For me, it wasn't. I had to find it. I had to discover it. So today, I want to walk you through my internal process of how to tap into that and how to stay tapped into that, so you can push through all the boredom and all the bullshit and all the pain and all the sacrifice and all the things that we have to do to go out there and create success. Because look, being broke and struggling is hard. Creating success is hard. You got to pick your heart. They're both going to be hard. There is no such thing as easy. And I've lived both sides of the spectrum. I've been broke. I've had to live in my car because I couldn't afford a place to live. I've made it. I've lost it. I've made it. I've lost it. Went through that cycle a few times in my 20-year career. They're both hard. I can just tell you that being broke, from my own personal experience, is much harder. I don't want to say much harder, but it's harder. It's a different type of hard. Not being able to sleep at night because you don't know how you're going to put food on the table for, your family, or pay your mortgage payment. Like, that is a pain, and that is difficult. So is all the pain of the work and sacrifice and rejection and all the things that you're going to have to push through. That is pain too. We just got to pick and choose our heart. Like, growth is pain. Growth is suffering. It all, like, you're going to suffer no matter what. You're going to experience pain no matter what. You just got to pick and choose which pain it is that you want to experience. And if you're listening to the Get Shit Done Mode podcast, I'm assuming that you want to get shit done, that you want the pain of success, not the pain of struggle that you want to go through. Okay, so now I want to break down, okay, how do we tap into that burning desire and create our own internal burning desire to succeed but then keep that front of mind so we can tap into that daily, because this is a marathon, not a sprint. So it's not just having this motivation for a week. No, it's you showing up, executing on the KPIs, on the actions that you have to do for years and years and years. Yeah, right. That boom creates big, long lasting success. Now, real quick before I jump into this, look, if you are a real estate agent, if you are a real estate team leader, or you're a real estate brokerage owner, and you're interested in learning more about partnering with me, where you get 100% full free access to all my coaching, all my training, all my mentorship, along with my business partner, Mike Sherrard, who's hands down the best in the world when it comes to helping real estate professionals build their business through AI, social media, YouTube. So you get 2 for 1. You get both of our coaching, all 100% for free, to help ensure you, your agents, succeed at the highest level. If you want to learn more about a partnership with me at EXP where we can partner together, I truly believe that we can do more together than we can apart. I'm not talking about a team, you joining my team. I'm talking about how we can roll together, how I can support you at building your business and accomplishing your dreams, goals, and visions. So there's going to be a link below. Wherever you're watching or listening, this is going to be a link below where you can schedule a 100% confidential, 100% zero pressure Zoom call with me personally. When I say zero pressure, look, I'm not here to try to recruit you, not going to push you, not going to pressure you. I'm just going to walk you through, hey, here's everything that we got. Here's how we work. Here's how we operate. Here's the opportunities. Here's the additional coaching, training, mentorship that you get for free to ensure that you're accomplishing your goals. Answer any questions that you have at the end of that call. If you feel like it's a great fit for you, awesome. Not, that's okay too. I just believe it's well worth your time to just explore it. The most expensive thing that we can own is a closed mind, right? So I'm not saying to jump on the opportunity. I'm just saying, hey, I think it's worth your while exploring it. My biggest regret in my real estate career was turning a blind eye to, this opportunity for 10 years. If I would have jumped on this opportunity 10 years ago, my life would look totally different. But best time to plant a tree 10 years ago, second best time today. So if this is something that you want to do, click that link below and go ahead and schedule that Zoom call with me. Okay, so again, that burning desire to succeed. I want you to understand human behavior, because this applies to sales. This also applies, like, what's the most important sale that you can make is selling yourself on your goals, dreams, and visions, that you truly want them, that you're got that clarity that this is what you truly want, but then selling yourself that you are capable of them. Yeah, we're all in sales, but that is the most important sell that you will make throughout your whole entire career. It trumps everything else. But human behaviors, if the pain of the status quo outweighs the pain of the change, okay, people will stay put. So, when I'm marketing, when I'm doing it, like, I need to get people to tap into and identify people that there's more pain with the current situation, with the current status quo. So let's just say I'm going after a seller. Okay, I'm looking for life situation changes. Okay, if it's a probate, if it's somebody going through a divorce, if it's a 30-day plus late, especially in this market, okay, the pain of the current situation outweighs the pain of the change, so they'll jump into that pain of the change. So how does this correlate to you and I? So we've got to get ourselves, and whatever you got to do, I'm going to walk you through my process here, whether it's my process or you find your own. Regardless, you need to tap into your own burning desire to succeed, where the thought of not accomplishing what it is that you want to accomplish, the pain of not accomplishing what is it you're going to accomplish, way outweighs the pain of what you're going to have to go through and all the bullshit that you're going to have to go through to create what you want to create. And there's no avoiding the pain. Look, there's cheat codes, right? Like, meaning you identify the right mentors, you identify, the right inner circle, the right coaching, the right training, the right mentorship, right? Yeah, there's cheat codes, meaning that they can help you get there, faster. They can make sure that you eliminate the guesswork, but we still got to go through the pain of doing the work. I look at this of, like, okay, let's just say I want to get in epic shape. I go hire a personal trainer, I hire a nutritionist. Now they can help me immensely, right? They can design all my workouts. They can design all my nutrition plans, right? But I still got to show up at the gym. I still got to push through the pain of the hard work and push through the soreness. I still have to, even though my nutritionist writes on my diet for me, I still got to meal prep. I got to, go through the psychological battle of picking and choosing the chicken breast and the broccoli when my mind is screaming at me that I want the double bacon cheeseburger and the Oreos, right? So no matter what, we got to push through that pain, and pressure is going to happen. In business, I look at, we all go through our pressure test. And if we look at, okay, pressure, when I look at, and this might sound a little funky, but okay, all human beings, I just look at, like, when it comes to our real estate business, like, we're all pieces of coal, right? Well, when pressure is applied to coal, one of two things happen. The vast majority of the pieces of coal, when pressure is applied, crumble. Now, a select few of those pieces of coal handle that pressure really well and they become diamonds. Like, you got to be committed to, man, I'm going to become a diamond. Whatever pressure is thrown at me, I'm going to use this to allow me to metamorphosize into the version of myself that I need to become in order to make my goals a reality. Like Jim Rohn always says, like, don't wish for less problems, wish you were a better problem solver. Like, we have to go through these different pressure tests. We have to go through this different adversity. We got to go through this different pain so you can learn, you can grow, you can expand, and you can metamorphosize into the version of yourself, the new, improved, better version of yourself that can get you to making your goals a reality. The person that you are today got you to where you are. Right. But if that's not where you want to be, like, you're going to have to adjust. You're going to have to level up. You're going to have to grow. You're going to have to expand. You're going to have to go through this metamorphosis process. So we got to tap into, okay, the pain of not accomplishing this damn thing is more painful. Just even the sheer thought of it, of not accomplishing my dreams, goals, and visions, making that a reality has to be more painful than the bullshit that you're going to have to push through, because you're going to have to push through it. Right? Sometimes it's daily, hour by hour, day by day, minute by minute, week by week, month by month. And look, I've had seasons through my business where it's not like I'm just getting kicked in the teeth and getting knocked down for a week, or just, some people are like, oh, it's just a bad day and you're letting it ruin your week, or no, like, I've had it where it's 2 years of hell that I've had to push through to turn the situations around, to get to that next level. So we've got to be ready for this battle that we are stepping into, because it is a battle, right? Not a hot war, but like, this is our own internal battle that we are going through. Okay, so how do we tap into this? It all starts with clarity. Clarity is power. We got to know what we want, why we want it, why it's important to you. You need to know what you want, why you want it, why it's important to you, and it's got to be yours. If it's society's goals pushed upon you and they don't matter to you, well, then you're not going to push through it. Like, this has to be your goals. Like, you got to spend the time, you got to block out the noise, you got to spend some time in solitude, and really think this stuff through. Put down the damn phone. For me, every year I take 2 full days off where I completely unplug and I regain clarity, and I go through the process I'm going to walk you guys through here today. So what I always start with is dealing in realities, understanding that life is finite. This journey is going to end for all of us. That's the one thing that we all know. Now, maybe there's a journey after this. I don't know. I hope so. I'm a believer, so I think that there is. I believe that there is. I want to believe that there is. I believe that there is. But I hope for the best, plan for the worst. If this is it, let's just say that next journey doesn't exist. Because I don't want to use that as a cop out to piss away this one gift called life that I've been blessed with. Right? So hope for the best, plan for the worst. If this journey is it, what must I accomplish before I end this journey to go out there and create the life that I know and that I truly want? 99% of human beings get to the end of this journey with this massive woulda, shoulda, coulda, regret list, and they just piss away this life because they were never intentional with it. So we don't want to get to the end of the life to realize we pissed it away, right? And you can future pace this and put yourself in an environment where you can start answering these tough questions. And it's tough, right? It's kind of morbid, it's kind of tough, but I'm going to walk you through it. So here's what I want you to do. And whether you're pausing and doing this now live time with me, or you come back to this, but I want you to visualize, boom, you're 84 years old. You're lying on your deathbed. There's no time to go back and change anything, right? Like, what's done is done. Your relationships are your relationships. What you create in business is your business. Like, there's no time to go back and change anything. What must happen between now in that time? So when you have that conversation, boom, you're 84 years old on your deathbed, and you're rolling back the tapes and reflecting on what you did with this life. Now, look, you and I both know you can bullshit it to other people, but you can't bullshit yourself. When you were sitting there and you're reflecting on your own life, you could tell them, well, I tried. It's like when I hear people that are like, oh, well, I gave it my all, but I couldn't make it in real estate, so I dropped it. I'm like, did you really? Like, you can go bullshit your spouse, your kids, your friends, your family, but you can't bullshit me with that. I know you can't bullshit yourself looking in the mirror. You did not give it your all. It's impossible to fail at anything when you truly give it your all. You didn't give it your all. You know that, right? I know that. You can bullshit other people with this, so what I'm talking about here is just, you deep into your own soul, reflecting deeply on these conversations. And again, this is where 99.9% of human beings get to the end of this life. Massive shoulda, woulda, coulda, die with a heavy heart of regret. So what I want you to think about, and I call it the ultimate scoreboard question. What must happen between now and so, okay, I'm 43 as of me creating this podcast today. Now, it's not my birthday today, but like me, I'm 43 years old right now. Okay, if I live to the average age of the average person, developed world, I know it's gone down, but when I first started this calculation, it was 84 years old. So if I take care of my health, if I'm, whatever, hopefully I live to 84, right? So if I'm blessed with them, that means I got 41 years left. If I'm blessed to live the average age of the average human being in a developed country, I got 41 years left. what have I accomplished thus far? What have I done? What have I experienced? Who have I become? What must happen in this last 41 years for me to make that question and answer that question the way I want to answer it? Because I know for me, I want to answer that question. Hey, look, maybe I don't even accomplish all my dreams, goals, and visions, but I know I wasn't a spectator. I got on the field, I played ball, I did everything I possibly could to go out there and create the life, leave the legacy, and have the impact that I want to have. And what I recommend is to identify, okay, what are the areas of your life that are most important to you? What are the relationships that matter most to you? How must those go? What are the things that you want to experience in life? Okay, do you need to have a certain amount of health? I mean, most people get to their retirement, quote unquote, golden years. Most in real estate never enter them because they're on the work till you die plan. But let's just say you do set for retirement. What are the things you want to do in your golden years? What kind of health do you need to have? This is where we get intentional with all of this stuff. Right? And if you don't know what it is that you want, this is where you start with what you don't want. Okay, I know I don't want to get to the end of the to my quote unquote golden years into my 70s 80s or 60s 70s 80s and not be able to go out there and have the health to do the things that I want to do. I don't want to be confined to a wheelchair, confined to a walker. Now there can be life events. Maybe I get in a car wreck. Maybe there could be things that we can't control. With this, there's always audibles that happen. But I'm just saying, okay, I'm going to control what I can control and do the best that I can with this. Yeah, right. So then, okay, like how long do you want to be, doing this, for? Well, let me take a step back from that. I'll get to that here in a minute. So then from there, okay, how must that conversation go? So I'm not answering this of, oh man, pissed away this life, this gift, called life that I've been blessed with. No time to go back, and I just pissed it away. Now I got the shoulda, woulda, coulda, regret list. Like, how do I make sure I don't have that conversation, have the conversation that I want, that it's like, man, I did everything I possibly could to go out there and create the amazing life for myself, for my family, like the legacy that I wanted to leave, have the impact that I want to have. And you got to get clear on that. So I want you thinking about, like, what are the things that you want to do and experience in this life? What are the things you want to learn? What are the places you want to travel to? What are the most important relationships to you in your life, and how do you want those to be at the end of this life? The more clarity that we have on that, that allows us to start making the right decisions and the right plans today, right now. Because if I look at, okay, as we're coming amongst 2026 exists for what? One reason only, to get you one step closer to living your ultimate life. So now we've designed how we want that conversation to go. So now we know what our ultimate scoreboard or ultimate life, should go out there and look like long term, right? That's clarity on the long game, right? Then from there, the next step is, so we're going to reverse engineer. So we got the long-term ultimate scoreboard question of how we want that to go. Then now I want you thinking about step two is, okay, how long do I want to be grinding in the real estate industry, business, whether you're an agent, team leader, broker, whatever that journey is? How long do you want to be grinding in this business until you're done? What is your exit strategy? You know, um, Real estate agents typically are on the work till you die plan. I had somebody that told me, that was an eye opener for me. He's like, dude, Josh, I've been in this business 30 years. I've never been to one agent's retirement parties, but I've been to a lot of their funerals. So we want to be intentional with this. What age do you want to be done? Maybe you're like, hey, I refuse to do this, after the age of 70 or 60, whatever that age is. What do you want to be done? Well, how much money do you need to have? So then that way you can pay yourself. I was having this conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and they told me that, hey, I want to be, so we identified the time, how many years they have left of being in the trenches and going out there and selling real estate and doing what they're doing before they're done, right? And when I say before you're done, like, meaning retirement exit strategy, maybe you choose at that point in time that, hey, you really enjoy this, you want to keep doing this. It's a whole different situation when we do it because we want to do it, not because we have to do it, right? And get yourself to the point where, hey, I'm doing this. Maybe you want to sell into your 80s. Maybe you're like, hey, man, retirement's boring for me. Okay, cool. That's probably me. I feel in that, probably will fit in that camp. At least, I believe that to be true now. We'll see when it comes. If I change my mind on that, maybe I end up enjoying retirement. But I don't see myself being a guy that can just sit on the beach and chillax and go on the golf course. I mean, to me, that sounds all boring as hell. But I want to do the things that I want to do because I want to do them, not because I have to do them. So then from there, so I'm having this conversation with my friend, and I was like, okay, well then how much money do you need to be making, passively, residually each month that's paying you? So then that when you retire, you're not a prisoner to your house. You're not just locked into Social Security, having to clip coupons, and you can't go out there and do the things that you want to do. So then you can go out there, travel, see the world, do the things that you want to do. So we just got very intentional with this. Okay, $15,000 a month, right? That was their number. So then, okay, you're going to need $4.5 million in the free and clear after taxes saved up in the stock market, or free and clear real estate. So then now we created a financial kind of exit plan. So then they know how much to invest between commissions and what that strategy is, whether it's, there's many different strategies to go out there and build that wealth, right? So I want you to think about that. We got the long-term ultimate scoreboard. Now we got our retirement exit strategy. Now I want you to think about, well, okay, 5 years from now, what do you want your life to look like in 5 years from now? What do you want? And an easy way to do this is design your perfect day. So when I wait, what time do I wake up? What's the first thing that I do? What's the second thing that I do? What's the third thing that I do? Am I working like in the business? Maybe you're like, well, hey Josh, I want to build what you built, where I build a team. I'm able to exit from leadership, and I can just work a couple hours a week running the team, and where I'm having to work, like maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you want to, maybe you love production, you want to stay in production, whatever it is. I want you to design, figure out, okay, within 5 years from now, how much money will you be making? What will your time look like? How many hours will you be working inside your real estate business or on your real estate business? What will you be doing with that time? Right. So now we can start. We got our long term, our end game, right? Our ultimate scoreboard question when you leave this planet. Now we got our exit strategy, our retirement plan, in place. Then, okay, what does 5 years look like? Then boom, now we start reverse engineering this down to, okay, now we look at 2026. Now that we're getting closer to 2026, your 2026 is started now today, right? So meaning that we're in October now. By the time this video is being released, it's in October. So your 2026 has officially started, meaning that the fruits of your labors today, you're going to see those results in 2026. So what must 2026 look like to get you one step closer to accomplishing your goals? We're at the December 30th. You're sitting down, you're reflecting on your business, you're high-fiving yourself because you're like, damn right, dude, I did it, I crushed it. What must you accomplish in 2026 to get you one step closer to your 5 year goal, to get you one step closer to retirement, to get you one step closer to living and building that ultimate life that you want to go out there and create? And again, these goals need to be yours. Like, you got to identify what really matters to you. I mean, there's a point in time where I was chasing wrong things, because, and it was my own fault. I'm not blaming, social media or society, but I started tapping into and setting all these goals because other people that I looked up to and respected in the business world had these things and thought that that was a classification of achievement. So once I have that, that means I made it. And then I just discovered, like, yeah, I'm just not one that really cares about friggin' cars and watches and boats and planes and right? Like, everybody's got their own thing. So what is it that matters to you? And if you love those things, cool. There's no right or wrong. Like, you like what you like. I like what I like, right? It's just, listen to that, tap into that, right? Whatever motivates you, whatever inspires you, whatever you want to build, just make sure that it's your own. It's not to impress your parents or not to, right? It's like, it's your own thing that you're chasing here. So then, now that I've got that clarity on what I want it, why it's important to me, I know the different benchmarks that I have to be at during my real estate success journey to make that a reality, right? Then the next step, and this is going to be a little woo-woo for some of you, not saying that you have to do this, I'm just telling you what works for me, is then I create vision boards, right? So I got, so with my vision board, I've got things that represent, the kind of each one of these phases. The ultimate scoreboard, I got things that represent, my exit strategy. I got things that represent my 5 year plan. I got things that represent my 1 year plan. So then, boom, that's always front of mind. So out of sight, out of mind. We want to keep this stuff, because this stuff, like when you get in clarity on this, yeah, you can get fired up and get motivated for a week, but then it wanes. It's like going to, that's why I don't like these freaking conferences where you go do these things, you get all pumped up and it pumps you up for a week or two. And then, then what, am I just going to go to a conference every 2 weeks? No, I need to find that internal fire. Motivation, that inspiration, that burning desire to succeed is internal. It's not found externally. So I want to create that, like, I do this way, dude. I'm always lit, man. I'm always lit up, right? I don't need external circumstance. I don't need to go to a conference. I don't need to go listen to some YouTube video to fire. Like, I am fired up by creating my own damn epic life. But I know what I want, know why I want it, why it's important to me, what it's going to mean to me, I know also what it means to me if I don't make those things a reality. I refuse to get to this end of life and piss away this gift called life. And that's what the vast majority of human beings do. I refuse it, right? So then from there, when I have the visuals, now it forces me to look at this stuff all day, all throughout the day. Right? Set it up where it's front of mind. You're always looking at it. And if you don't want to do vision boards, okay, cool, don't. But my recommendation is to at least write out what these goals are the most important essential goals that matter to you, where you're writing them out first thing in the morning and then right before you go to bed every night. So at least they're front of mind twice a day. Because here's the thing: when you have extreme clarity on what you want, why it's important to you, it makes decisions very easy, right? So it's either a hell yes. So when something comes up in my world, it's like, okay, I look up at my vision board. Is this getting me one step closer to making what I want to achieve a reality? Yes or no? It's either a simple yes or it's a no. And if it's a well, I don't really know, then it's a no. It's either a hell yes or it's a hell no, right? So it buys me back time. It creates that time, for me. So then here's the other element of power with this is once you're extremely clear on what you want it, why it's important to you, it allows you and only then allows you to properly reverse engineer the structural plans, right? The architectural plans to get you from where you're at to where you want to go. Because I look at all of this, okay, the ultimate goal, like our goal is to climb this mountain. And we have different bench points of the mountain that we want to get to, but the goal is to get to the top. That's the ultimate scoreboard, right? So we got, okay, I'm at the bottom. I want to get to the top of this mountain. Number one, we want to make sure it's the right damn mountain. You don't want to exhaust 10, 20, 30 years of our life to realize, oh shit, I wasted all this time, energy to climb the wrong mountain. Then maybe you identify the right mountain, but maybe you don't have enough energy. Yeah, right. Maybe you're too beat up. You're too, right. Like we want to make sure we're climbing the right mountain. So I got the mountain. Then, okay, my strategy plans, right, are the trail map to get me to the top. Right. And then there may be course corrections. Maybe I'm on this, this trail map, and then all of a sudden, I come up and there's a, tree falling over. This trail's flooding. I got to then find a different part of the trail to reconnect to get me back on the right path. Yeah, right. So our strategy plans, we got to pivot within our plans. Those things happen. Right? But it's like, okay, I've got the mountain. My strategy plan is the trail map that's going to get me from where I'm at to where I want to go. And then daily is the steps, right? The actions are the steps that I got to take to get me from the bottom to the top. And one of the reasons why this allows to gives you that power is, so if you visualize this, like we're all just bricklayers. We're just laying bricks each and every day. So you grab this brick, lay concrete on it, stack that brick, grab the next brick, lay concrete on it, stack that brick, and then just repeating that process. So in your real estate business, think of every time you generate a lead, every time you do a follow-up call, every time you write a contract, every time you do an email, every time you do anything in your business, every task that you do, it's just like you laying another damn brick, right? Well, that gets very tedious. Yeah, right. It gets boring as hell. It's hard. It's difficult. It's boring. You got sweat dripping in your eyes, all those things. Well, we don't want to accidentally stack those bricks wrong and build yourself in a metaphorical prison. We want to make sure that you know exactly with intention of where each of those bricks goes, where to stack them, when to stack them, how to stack them. So then, like, you got to lay the bricks either way. So might as well be intentional with it. So then, like, you're going to live the days, you're going to take action, you're going to experience pain either way. So you might as well be intentional with it and get it working in your favor. So then now brick by brick, not only am I laying them in the right way so I can build my metaphorical empire versus my metaphorical prison, but then brick by brick, now I'm seeing progress. Burnout happens not because of hard work. You don't get burnout because you're working hard. You get burnout because you're taking all these actions and you're not seeing progress. You're not getting the expected result. You're getting kicked in the teeth too much. And that's when burnout sets in. So now, brick by brick, day by day, I'm seeing progress. And that doesn't mean that I'm always just going to be excited. Doesn't mean that, we're going to experience all of those things, right? Like you've got to learn to execute regardless of your emotional state. Little toddlers listen to emotions and let emotions control how they operate. If you want to metamorphosize into having an adult, mature business, you don't listen to your emotions. Right. So there, but I'm able to see progress. So I know why I'm building what I'm building, right? It gets me to push through, when I'm working, when I'm not motivated, when I'm working, when I'm depressed, working when I'm sick, when I'm working, when I don't feel like it. And then look, there are times where I feel like it and I am motivated, but it's a much smaller percentage. I get asked all the time, Josh, how do you stay so freaking motivated? I'm like, dude, I don't. I just get the work done regardless. And then there's some times where I don't feel like doing a damn thing. I start doing the work. And then about an hour into it, I'm like, oh, now this feels good. I got some momentum. Now I feel good. Right. And there's times where I show up and I don't want to do the work, but I do it anyway. And throughout the whole entire day, I never feel an ounce of motivation, but I do it anyway because I understand that here's what I want to create. Here's why I want to create it. Here's why I'm pushing through. I can't listen to my emotions. I got to execute and get done what I want to get done. Here's what I want. Here's why I want it. Here's why it's important to me. That's how you get that burning desire to succeed. Because again, the pain of not accomplishing the thing has to be more painful than the pain of not doing it. So it's like, okay, the pain of getting to the end of this world and having a shitty relationship with your kids, right? The pain of that has to be more, more painful than the pain of doing what you got to do to make sure that you have a great relationship with them. Right. And then applying that to business, applying that, I use the kids one because that's probably something that we can all relate with, or at least those who have kids can understand that and grasp that. Well, we got to apply that to any area of our life that's extremely important to us. So this is the most important thing, is tapping into whatever you got to do. Got to get yourself to tap into it. Again, whether it's my process works great for you. Awesome. If it's not, go find your own process. Find something that works for you. Like step number one is get on this, right? Because until you get on this, right, doesn't matter what strategy you have, doesn't matter how good you are at AI. Look, you're going to have inconsistencies. You're going to fall. You're going to, maybe be, dialing in things for 90 days and you fall off the map for 90 days. You have inconsistencies. You're not willing to push the pain the first time adversity comes up inside your business. Oh, I'm going to break. I'm going to quit. I mean, we see this all the time in our industry, man. How many people, as soon as, like they jump in when the market's hot, and then when the market shifts and changes, they get out and they allow it to break them. And right. It's because, dude, they're not committed. They don't know what they want, why they want it, why it's important to them. If it's truly important to me, that other's full of shit. Like when something's truly important to you, like you're going to do what it takes, to go out there and execute and get things done. If it's not important to you, you find a reason, you find an excuse to not do it, to quit, to give up. So we got to tap into this. So I hope that this is helpful. Again, if you are a real estate agent, real estate team leader, or real estate brokerage owner, and you're interested in learning more about partnering with me at EXP, where you get 100% full free access to all my coaching, training, support, as well as my business partner, Mike Sherrard, who's the best in the world at social media, AI, and YouTube, where you get both of us to really pour into you, to your agents, to help you grow, help you succeed. No additional cost to you. We exist to just help you grow, help you expand your business, and do everything that we possibly can to allow you to win. And by you winning, we win. It's just how the brilliance of EXP models works. So if that's something that you are interested in learning more about, there's going to be a link below in the description of the show notes, whichever, wherever, depending on where you're watching or listening to this. The top link is a link where you can schedule a 100% confidential, 100% zero pressure Zoom call with me personally. Well, I'll just walk you through, hey, here's what we got going on. Here's everything that we do. Here's the opportunity at hand. Here's who we're looking to roll with. I want to roll with people that want to go out there and make their goals a reality, that have that burning desire to succeed, right? Help you tap into that, help you go out there and accomplish your goals, answer any questions that you have. And look, at the end of that call, if you feel it's a fit for you, great. If not, that is okay too. We can still be friends. You have my word on that. I'm not going to high pressure, not going to push you. I only want to roll with people that want to roll with me. So there's a link below to go out there and schedule if that's something you want to take advantage of. Otherwise, guys, I truly appreciate you. Keep crushing, keep kicking ass, and I will see you soon. Peace.